what am I supposed to do with these eggs?
So maybe let's start. What are we making?
I'll start by cracking the egg.
We got the cooking cam on the go, ready to watch your every move.
I get like PTSD.
Oh my God. It's more like an avocado cream.
Is this a ceramic pan? Okay.
No idea, I'm not that advanced.
I'm sure someone is watching this and they're cringing over my egg scramling skills.
What's that saying?
The whole is
The
greater
whole
than
is
some of the parts, yeah.
How about you taste this first and like you let me know if you don't like this, because I don't know what happened to these avocados.
I think with the microphone right here.
It's like for the thumbnail. Wait for the thumbnail. And I'm here with
Patrick from DeFi Llama and Dynamo DeFi.
Today we are cooking not breakfast, not dinner, but brunch. And I'm gonna give you the task of starting with some eggs while we talk about DeFi. So what gets you excited about DeFi?
Well, when I first started, it was definitely earning 2,000% yield. Since then, I've learned that that's a good way to lose your money. And oh, by the way, what am I supposed to do with these eggs?
Yeah, so maybe let's start. What are we making? Do you want to make scrambled eggs? Do you want fried eggs?
I'm not really good at any of these things, but I'll start by cracking the eggs.
Okay, we can start there.
Start by cracking the eggs, maybe make some scrambled eggs or an omelet or something like that.
I think you're gonna need a bowl for that.
Yeah.
Since this is like step one of making eggs, like what would you think is like step one in trying to get into DeFi?
Well, first thing is people need to learn how to self-custody and get on chain. So I would say vast majority of people who hold crypto probably hold it on some sort of exchange. And how many eggs do you want, by the way?
Just 2.
Normally, if you wanted to launch some sort of financial application, you would have to go through all sorts of licenses. You might be restricted geographically. With DeFi, you can basically you can deploy something to any country in the world, and anyone can access it instantly. And you can also experiment with a lot of financial primitives that normally would be very difficult to launch on your own. I think that also answers what I find exciting about DeFi.
Yeah, for sure.
And you see that, for example, something like prediction markets. There used to be this app called Predict It that about 10 years ago I would bet on elections with, and it was insanely difficult to withdraw your money. It was very limited in which markets were there. They eventually got kind of shut down by regulators. And I think something like that, it really was only possible to scale it in a meaningful way if you were using DeFi.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Even with just right now, like we are seeing like real world applications with crypto come true. I mean, with the rise of Calcium Poly market, yeah, people are actively participating in these prediction markets, and yeah, I think that's a really great first barrier or first entry point for the masses.
Yeah, but so I guess to finish my answer of what they should do, first thing they should do is learn how to self-custody, set up a wallet.
Yeah, where I think crypto has to go in the future is even before like the whole self-custody part.
Yeah.
I think the general public doesn't necessarily care about that all the time. They just want to have a flawless like entry point. They just sign in with
100%.
Apple, sign in with like a Google account, and have that abstracted for them. So having some sort of wallet abstraction is going to be key going forward if you want to bring crypto to the masses. So that's what I'm liking about these new platforms that are coming out. And that's why they're succeeding, is because it's just easy. So we have to make that user onboarding flow as simple as possible.
Awesome. By the way, do we have any salt, pepper?
Yeah,
and
so
maybe some kind of milk, unless you're lactose intolerant.
no, we can do that. So salt, pepper right here. In terms of milk, do we buy milk? Question.
If not, then that's okay. We can do without milk.
Without milk, it has to be for right now. Just gonna get in here.
Oh yeah, go for it.
And grab some peanut butter. We're making yogurt bowls. You go with peanut butter?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what do you think about perp dexes?
Perp dexes, I think they are great money makers. I think one of the cool things about DeFi right now is that even if you're like a traditional investor who doesn't care about any of the things I mentioned about self-custody, and maybe you disagree with my thesis about basically it sparking a wave of financial innovation, then you might still find perp dexes or businesses like that interesting, because they're objectively making huge amounts of money.
What about for the user?
For the user? Well, it's useful if you want to speculate on assets, whether that's crypto or sometimes now equities. You want to get leverage, or if you want to like hedge a position.
Talking a little bit more about the perps trading, I think perps trading could be like a really great tool for people to learn about what leverage is, and it gives more exposure to people more so than what we have like in a traditional sense in banking. So what I love about DeFi is like you're able to learn so much more because it gives you access to everyone. But yeah, people do have to be wary about, you don't just want to take a 100x leverage position, because there are real consequences. In that case, yes, it can be seen as betting, but there are proper trading strategies that you can learn and do.
Yeah, it's I mean, I was gonna say it can be a great tool for that. It can also be a great tool to lose all your money. Not that I don't think there's a place for it. I mean, I've done it. A lot of smart people I know have done it. The thing I always say is, I don't know, maybe some people want to start with paper trading, but like start with a very small amount, even if it's a couple dollars, because if you can't trade that well, then like putting a bank account in there is like, it's not going to get better if you can't trade a small. And once you actually understand something about how it works, then maybe you can talk about scaling up. The other thing I would say is, to me, like, been in this field for a while now, the people who I see that use leverage most successfully, unless they're like legitimately like an S tier trader, the people that do it most successfully are people who wait until there's complete capitulation, whether that's like late 2022 or in some respect like April 2025, even though that wasn't complete, but it was pretty bad capitulation. And then they like buy things that they were already had conviction on at a heavy discount, and they maybe use modest or something, and then as it I see very few people who use like their 100x leverage on the long term. Maybe if you're trading the 5-minute chart and like you want to do that to practice, like I know one strategy people like to use to practice is they kind of like trade you know, like small amounts on the 5-minute chart. That's a popular thing on Polymarket now too with binary options, and then they and you use that to get a lot of reps in. So that's like I suppose that's like a viable strategy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if right now I don't really trade perps as much, but I've been playing around with this new platform called Side.Fun, which we're actually launching and just came out today. So I've been learning a lot more about trading leverage, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. And I found out more about my type of trading strategy, which is more of like the positions trader, which I think I need very strong conviction what my thesis is before I even place my trade. I'm definitely not the type of person that's going to be doing like 5 to 15 minutes, because yeah, that is just gambling. Those are the markets that you're going to find in on Polymarket. So I'd rather do the research on macro trends and do my due diligence before I enter a position and set my stop losses and take profits at reasonable values. So yeah, that's more so of my trading thesis. So I'm curious to hear like what you would do if you were a perps trader.
I was a perps trader. Before we get to that, we should start cooking the eggs soon.
Yeah, sure. Do
we have, we don't have any vegetables. Do we? Everything we have is out here on the...
Yeah, we're just gonna do some simple scrambled eggs. You have some olive oil there, your salt and pepper is there. We got the cooking cam on the go, ready to watch your every move.
All right, let's see what we got here. We've got
Maybe
pure
let's
olive
show the
oil.
Camera.
Oh yeah, this camera right here?
Yeah, let's show the camera what we have.
So let's see.
The scramble.
We have the scramble. Now, I don't know if people know, typically you don't want to use extra virgin olive oil. There's 2 types of olive oil. Neither of them are labeled, so, but I'm gonna assume it's not extra virgin, this one. And even though I hate using plastic, go ahead and open this.
So I'm assuming you're really into health for knowing that.
Yeah, well, it also has to do with like the, what's it called? The flash point or the smoke point or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Is this a ceramic pan?
No idea.
No idea, okay.
No idea, I'm not that advanced.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and preheat this a bit. Yeah, so if I was perp trading, then what I would do would probably be, like I said, my favorite strategy is to take something that I'm already bullish on, and maybe like if I can't get the exposure I need, like a modest leverage, being very careful with stop losses. I don't want to sound like someone who doesn't take any risk, but like risk management is very important with something like trading, especially if it's something where you can liquidation. So.
Makes sense. I mean, for myself, like I would love to be like, scalping seems really interesting to me as well, only if you have it automated. I mean, I've been playing around with the vibe coding stuff like super recently, like 2 nights ago, I just started using Cursor to make this like arbitrage strategy where I basically go from different lending protocols, borrow the same asset and then resupply it on different lending platform just to take the difference. And I have it so that it pre-calculates for me like where I stop becoming profitable. And the next thing that I want to do, I want to add for it to look through multiple markets, not just USDC, based off of like whatever collateral I have in my wallet, search for all those different markets. So it basically is comparing like smaller lending markets to like a bigger lending market, because that's when you're able to find those differences on like the borrowing fees, which I thought pretty cool. So those are the type of DeFi strategies that I like to do, which are pretty like set in stone, you're making money, but it takes a lot of setup to like go and look for those opportunities, which is why if you don't have it automated, then doing it, because it's a lot of overhead.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw some coconut oil into the pan as well.
Like, what do you think about the whole vibe coding craze that's been going on with DeFi? Like, do you think it's people can make like feasible and safe strategies?
Yeah, so I'm very heavy vibe coder.
Oh,
I've been,
cool.
I unfortunately on the trip over here to Denver, I messed up my like 2-month GitHub.
Oh no.
I know, I didn't even realize until the day after where I like forgot to submit something, but yeah, I've been vibe coding pretty heavily. Now I'm using it a lot more for, maybe this is just like given my background with content and everything, I'm using it a lot more to spin up automated content platforms, I would say, whether that's or not platform, like digital real estate, where I spin up like bespoke analytics sites or SEO sites or automated Telegram channels, stuff like that. But I guess I'm interested to hear more about you doing.
It is a little bit worrying of like, what are engineers doing now? Like if they're not using these tools, like I think it's such a good starting point to any product, and it really shows you where things can go wrong in terms of security, because I caught it using just like pulling data just from the website, which can be very easily hackable, versus actually going to the API and fetching it in a correct way. So if you don't have the knowledge to pick up on those things already, then that's where we start entering into some like bad waters.
Yeah, there was a protocol that was exploited. I don't want to name them, but there's a protocol that was exploited just yesterday because they had they had used, I mean, as makes sense, they had used Claude to push an update, and it changed something from in terms of ETH to in terms of dollars, which is obviously much different. And I think a couple $1 million were lost.
Yeah, so definitely engineers are still needed for like that revision, but instead of having them build something from scratch, this is definitely way faster to be able to like automate some sort of DeFi strategies. What actually made you get into crypto?
Well, I first got into crypto because I had a coworker was shilling me a coin, like a lot of people, and I was like, oh yeah, he's like, this thing is gonna skyrocket, and it didn't. But it didn't. I jumped around to some other things. This was like way back in 2018. Basically lost all my money at that time, but I was also much younger and pretty soon out of college. Kind of like forgot about it for a while, like 2019. 2020, stuck at home, like a lot of people looking for ways to make money online.
Yeah.
And got into DeFi, staking, all of those types of.
You're like, wow, free internet money.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, it's great. You stake it, and then it's just like they give you yields, and obviously made a lot of mistakes, but started to learn it. And then 2021 came, I got into like making thematic social media pages. So I was first making like coffee, like Instagram accounts about coffee, and then as I was also doing crypto more and more, I was like, all right, like I should find some way to make some. And I read this book that talked about like the best way to stand out is to find two things that you're good at and then find the intersection. It's very rare. It may be that like thousands or millions of other people that are good at one of those things, but it's very rare to find someone who's good at those two specific things.
Yeah, I think that would just be what makes people like unique in general. Like everyone has all these different aspects about themselves. It's like the amalgamation of a person is like with all their unique attributes. Like what's that saying? Like
the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Yeah.
I got some of the words right, but yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So I thought about that, and I was like, okay, well, every job I've ever worked, they put me in charge of training people. I'm a pretty decent public speaker, and I like DeFi, and I had studied economics at a top university. So I was like, okay, what's the intersection? And the intersection was making a YouTube channel. And originally, my YouTube channel, I would introduce saying like, this is Dynamo DeFi, where I talk about DeFi, crypto, and economics, thinking I would expand to econ. Turns out with crypto taking off the way it did in 2021, the channel very quickly grew to having the subscribers. So I kind of zeroed in on buying crypto. First half of 2021, 1,000 in October, 5,000 on Christmas, and 10,000 on February 1st, 2022.
Wow.
And then basically like found myself knee deep in this industry. Fast forward a few years, I have like a much larger channel. Originally I said I would be satisfied if I got to 1,000, and I've passed that 60x over.
Oh wow.
So I guess I'll just kind of break this up.
So how do you want this bread? Do you want it toasted?
Yeah, let's make some toast. Is that an avocado? Maybe we can make some avocado toast.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I have a gluten allergy, so this bread is all you.
Okay.
Do you want?
Maybe you just want some avocado then on the side.
Yeah, I'll put that's why I have the rice cakes for myself.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I'm sure someone is watching this and they're cringing over my egg scrambling skills, so I apologize.
Put this in the toaster. But yeah, let me get a bowl. Do you think you can grab me a bowl over there for the avocado? Thank you. So let's hope these avocados are okay. But yeah,
not very
how
picky.
I got into crypto was a little bit different. I mean, yeah, I also got it like immediately after school. But I came at it from the decentralized storage angle. So I was really interested
nice.
in data storage and how we could democratize that for society. And I still think it's a very important problem to solve. But I wanted to go into DeFi because we have a little bit more of like a real world use case just right off the bat with it. And it was easier to bring it to mass adoption rather than competing with the AWSs of the world. So yeah, that's what brought me to DeFi.
Oh, nice.
And especially with right
path.
now, I really like where stablecoin adoption is going with like cross-border payments. Even being Canadian and being in the US right now, transferring money here is just harder. What if I could just pay with USDC? This wouldn't even be an issue. You know what I mean? I'd rather just like process payments that way instead of having to figure out how to like exchange currencies.
No, that makes a lot of sense, and you know, I feel like that's just the start, because there's so many advantages to having something that's programmable, and I think that as there's thousands of other assets that become tokenized on chain, like be a lot of cool things that can be built with all of the DeFi primitives that were already created.
Yeah, I think people are starting to realize that too. Like,
yeah.
I was talking about this like yesterday with my coworker, and like, do you remember that first feeling of when you saw something in crypto go mainstream? We were talking about the Jason Derulo stuff where he mentions Coinbase, and you hear that in his song, you're like, oh my God, Coinbase, like that's my industry, and you get so hyped because you're like, this is the first time I've seen crypto get talked about outside of work.
Yeah, no, I used to. Now I get like worried that it's a top signal every time I hear that. Maybe PTSD from going through too many bear markets in the industry. But you know, it is kind of wild how mainstream it's gone. Not just even in terms of, in terms of pop culture, absolutely. Also in terms of like business and government. You know, like I have people that I know from previous lives who like I never would have thought would be into crypto. Who
Like who?
Like who? So like it's like here's an example. When I was in college, I was, maybe he sees this, and if he does, I'll say hi. But in college, I was subletting from this law student, great guy, but like, you know, like one of the more accomplished people I've ever known, like very high level American football player. He was getting like going to Harvard Law, worked for like McKinsey, or he ended up working for McKinsey. Anyways, turns out I like encountered him again recently. He's running the White House Crypto Council now.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and I was like,
he in charge of Trump, Quinn, and Melania?
I don't think so. I don't think so. No, that was before him, or a separate initiative. But yeah, he's running the White House Crypto Council, and like he's like someone who, great guy, and like I never would have thought that he was would be in this industry a few years ago. But like, so yeah, there's a lot of people that are like, you know, coming from outside that suddenly are. I keep doing the exact same thing.
It's like, this
for
feels like
people
it should
watching,
have
there's like
something in it.
there's
It's
a drawer
empty.
here that looks like it should be for forks, but it's not. It's actually empty.
Yeah, it just keeps baiting me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab the salt and pepper. I hope these avocados taste good, so I'm gonna taste it.
Oh,
And maybe
yeah, I
we can
hope so,
flip the toast.
Oh yeah, good call. Let's see, and then do we have for the eggs?
It's more like an avocado cream, but that's fine with me.
I'm not very picky.
Okay. As long as it tastes like good. It's healthy.
I think that like DeFi is going to win at the end of the
Yeah.
day. Similar to like the internet, you did have traditional newspapers go online, but at the end of the day, it was new media that was the biggest winners, because it's a new platform and like fundamentally it's better.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. How about we start assembling?
Yeah, I'll grab
let's
another
get
one. By the way,
let's
we
get
can
some plates.
cut. I accidentally touched this with the bread, so we can cut
That's okay.
cut that part off for you.
How about you taste this first and like you let me know if you even cook this, because I don't know what happened to these avocados.
All right. I guess, are we not going to use this spoon? Sure.
No, yeah, you can.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay, good. So we'll do this. I was thinking of like putting it, maybe put like the eggs on it.
Oh yeah, if you want to.
That's what I was gonna do. What were you thinking for yours? You were gonna do it
side by side, but you know, this could be good too. That could be like
because
very
we also
artistic.
have some like prosciutto. Like
Yeah.
we can do something with this.
Maybe I'll do. Well, there's 2 pieces of bread. Maybe I'll do one with eggs, one with prosciutto.
Yeah,
Get
true.
some-
I was gonna do prosciutto on the side.
As long
for
as
me.
it's symmetric, you know, it should be good.
Yeah, let's like do up our plates so that we can show the camera what we've created.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, cool.
So I assume that one's yours. So you
Yeah, I'll just use this
grab as many
spoon.
eggs as you want. I made 6 because I'm a big egg guy. I
Oh,
usually
wow.
have 3 or 4 every day.
I think we can show like the camera over
Oh
here.
yeah, maybe
the
I'll
food camera.
throw this bowl in.
Like this. Look at our beautiful creations. This is how we start our day to work in DeFi.
That is true. This is the meal that powers DeFi. This actually looks incredible.
Well, thank you so much for cooking with me. And now we're going to enjoy this off camera. Bye-bye. Off camera, right? Mock me? What the hell? No.
With the microphone right here.
It's like for the thumbnail. Wait, for the thumbnail.
Yeah, let me do some of this right here and.
Okay, good. Good. Now we can actually eat.
Very nice.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was cool.